The next driver on the retired driver list is Steve Park, a career which was plagued with injuries and just horrible luck overall. So on this screen, you see there's 5 seasons we're going to do, 1999 through 2003. However, there's one season where he was slated to run the full season, where he wasn't able to. There was a 6th season that he was going to run a full season, but he wasn't able to due to an injury. This is the prologue to Steve Park's career. Maybe the introduction to how his career is going to go. The prologue. So in 1998, he was slated to run all 33 races that season, only ran about half of them due to an injury he suffered in a practice session at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and due to that, he only runs 17 of the 33 races and ends up 41st in the points, only 2 lead lap finishes, a DNQ during the season, as well as here. He ran the first 2 races of the season, the 3rd race he DNQ'd out of, the 4th race where he got injured. They came back race 19 and raced through to race number 33. Those were the races he ran during the season. Big see how bad he was during the season. His best finish, 11th, that came twice, and very few lead lap finishes, very few good finishes overall. But as we go ahead, Daytona couldn't really find the issue he had, but he was out of the race. At Rockingham, he gets involved in a crash. Once again, that is a lot of Steve Park luck in that. Throughout his career, we'll see that he gets involved in a lot of crashes. Normally a crash, though, it is big. We even see that this season where he crashes, it is big. There's just some bad luck overall. As you can see, they kind of got stacked up. The 36 and the 1 got into the wall. Park then rides the wall, and this damage he sustained slows him down for the rest of the race. Finishes off pace. At Las Vegas, he DNQ'd to 45th in qualifying. So he DNQs out of the Las Vegas race, and then here is the race or the practice session at Atlanta, which injures him. You can see him in the wall coming off turn 4. He hits it once and twice, and then he comes through into the quad oval, and he's going to impact it a 3rd time right there, hard hit, even harder than the first few, and then he slides across the infield grass. You see him right here as he hits the wall for the 3rd time right there, hard hit. He slides across the infield grass. He'll hit the water in the infield grass, which slows him down just a little bit. But then he finally impacts the pit wall on the inside. This race gave him a broken leg and forced him to sit out a bunch of the season, half of the season practically. As you see right there, the hard hit. Once again, here he is coming across the grass. He'll hit the water, but then once he gets onto pit road, he just slams the inside wall right there. As he's into the grass, here he comes across pit road. Luckily, no one was injured except for Steve Park in this. He hits the inside wall, some equipment goes flying. His first race back was at the Brickyard. Not good there. He's slow on the access road, brings out the caution flag with about 9 to go. And then you go to Bristol, where he's involved in a crash with Michael Waltrip and some others. He's a heavy damage to the number 1 right there. So, I mean, it's just a horrible season overall for Steve Park. Not much really going right for him. No high points, all low points. Right here in New Hampshire, he gets in the wall with a flat tire, brings out the caution flag again. I mean, see the damage there to the 1 car, and even the rear end damage is more severe. As they pan around to the rear of the car, you'll see the damage right there, pretty heavy. They do get the car repaired. Right here at Martinsville, the crash happens. You can see him coming in at the right side of the screen. There he is, as he's going to go low, and then a car trying to get going hits him and spins Park around after the crash has already happened. And then here they are at Charlotte, gets loose underneath, I think that's the 18 by Labonte, gets loose up into the outside wall. He'll back it into some pretty heavy rear end damage there. He does finish the race about 100 laps down. Right there, he comes off the wall into the middle of the pack. Luckily, no one hits him. But then at Talladega, he has some unfortunate luck running in the lead pack, but then has a mechanical issues Dr. Jerry Punch will detail right here.
That'd be the car number 1, Steve Park, the Pennzoil Chevrolet for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and Felipe Lopez, headed back to the garage area now, making that left-hand turn. They were on pit road 2 laps ago. The oil temperature suddenly went way above 260, and the oil pressure went to 0. That's a bad sign. They raised the hood, tried to see what they could do, went back out, still had no oil pressure, decided to go ahead and head for the garage area.
And then Daytona is the final race for recovery here. He gets involved in a crash on the backstretch. And then the rest of the season was pretty mediocre on to that point. But Park, not a great first season for him. Racing full-time, not a great first season for DI as well. This DI's first season. So that's why it's not really in the full series, because it was really not supposed to be a good season because it was DI's first season. And on top of that, he missed half the season. So that was the prologue. Can't wait to start this series. 5 seasons for Steve Park here in his career.